on SportsCenter. The PGA Championship is underway as Tiger Woods takes dead aim, but would John Daly steal the show? Speaking of stealing, Ricky Henderson stepping in, this time as an angel. Mark Brunell may not miss the entire season after all. We'll tell you why. We'll also tell you who the Eagles quarterback will be to start the season. Carolina's starting quarterback is down, but he's not out.
1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, now go, can't go, but don't step on my blue suede shoe.
The ads say if you don't like baseball, move to Norway. So we did. Results in tonight's cover story. So don't tug on Superman's cape or spit into the wind. Larry and Bob put their heads together for this edition of SportsCenter Next.
Don't know where we got that shot from, but hello everybody and welcome to SportsCenter. I'm Larry Beil along with Bob Stevens, hopefully not to be confused as the two-headed pig. Steve Levy will join us in a moment. We begin with the revolving door. The arrival of one veteran means another one is going.
Maybe for good and probably headed to Cooperstown. There is nobody yet in the Baseball Hall of Fame sporting an Angels logo, but Angels will be engraved on a number of Cooperstown's plaques, one coming, one going in just the last 24 hours. The Angels have released 41-year-old Eddie Murray, 504 career homers, 3,253 hits, but only 3 homers and 35 hits in 46 games this year to make room for the all-time stolen base king, Ricky Henderson. Sock they got, speed they need. Welcome to the pennant race. Angels and Brewers in Milwaukee. Henderson in his debut as an Angel with the chopper up the middle. Fernando Vina makes the play. Throw Henderson out. Henderson went 0 for 5 but did steal a base. Top of the 4th, game tied at 1, 2 on for rookie catcher Todd Green, who takes Jose Mercedes deep and gone down the left field line. Just his 7th homer and 105 at bats, 4-1 Halos. Dennis Springer had the knuckler working. He struck out just 1 but got Jeremy Burnitz to bounce into the double play there. Springer and the Angels cruise 5-1 the final. Angels in a virtual tie now with the Mariners, who play later tonight in Baltimore. Brewers now 4 back of the Indians. Murray's agent said Eddie realizes this might be the end of his career and he's going home to think about his life and where it goes from here. After the game, the Brewers acquired former Cy Young winner Mark Davis from the Arizona Diamondbacks for a player to be named later. Davis hasn't pitched in the big league since '94. Now out to the ballpark on Candlestick Point. The Giants and the Cubs. Sean Estes facing Ryne Sandberg. Estes gets it. He would go on to strike out 10. Bottom of the 2nd, 2 on, 1 out. Bill Miller facing Kevin Tapani, and Miller hits this one halfway to Oakland Bay. His 6th homer. San Francisco up 3-0. There isn't an Oakland Bay, is there? Yeah, it's a Bay Bridge. Anyway,
in there.
Bottom of the 4th, none on, 1 out. Tapani against Miller. Giants up 4-2. The sinking liner, Doug Glanville misplays it and then picks it up and throws it into a sliding Miller. Miller winds up on 3rd after this chaotic play. Bottom of the 8th, Roberto Hernandez in his first big league at bat. A base hit to right field. One happy guy, the big guy, Roberto Hernandez. Giants go on to win this one 7-3. Sean Estes getting his 15th win. Bill Miller going 5 for 6 in his last 2 games, 3 for 4 in this one with the 3-run homer. Jeff Kent 2 for 2 and 3 runs scored. Giants pull 2 games up on the Dodgers in the West. The Dodgers playing the Expos. More on that later in SportsCenter.
Football news now. He's been described as a young Steve Young. The difference is Steve Young has never had a serious knee injury. Mark Brunell does. And today, the Jaguars quarterback had his knee scoped to find out just how bad it is. The result, not as bad as it could have been. Brunell will be out the next 8 weeks. He's got a stretched ACL, a partially torn posterior cruciate ligament, and a detached medial collateral ligament. What does it all mean? No further surgery required, just rehab over the next 2 months to repair the damage done by that Jesse Armstead hit. Jags say their best-case scenario would have Brunell available for an October the 12th date with the Eagles. That is their 6th game of the regular season.
I'm not going to stand.
Well, I would certainly not want to give the impression this was a minor injury, because I think we have intimated all along that this was a serious knee injury. Fortunately, it was not quite as serious as it could be. And all these injuries need to heal, and his knee needs to rehabilitate to enable him to come back and perform as a professional quarterback.
Here are the 5 teams who are happy not to have to face Mark Brunell. The Jags start off with the Ravens and the Giants. Both were under 500 last year. Things get tougher after that. The Steelers 10-6 last season, followed by the Redskins and the Bengals. Of note, 3 of the first 6 are non-conference games. 3 of 6 are AFC divisional foes. Also, the Jags have an open date, so that'll give Brunell 1 more week to heal up. And while Brunell does heal, what about the man who's now inherited the throne, at least for a while? The future of the Jags in the hands of the untested Rob Johnson. Chris Mortensen looks at the task that awaits him coming up later in the show. Bob?
Mort also tells us that following complaints by a number of teams, the NFL's looking into the deal between the 49ers and quarterback Steve Young, a deal that cut Young's salary by $1.5 million. With nothing guaranteed in return. The Niners used that money as the basis for the new deal with defensive tackle Bryant Young to keep him from becoming a free agent next year. So right now, both contracts are on hold. Mort will have more on that story later in SportsCenter.
All eyes were on the young guns today at the PGA Championship. And how is this for a threesome? The Masters champ Tiger Woods, U.S. Open champ Ernie Els, and British Open champion Justin Leonard all in the same group. But that talented trio was overshadowed by a guy who's dealt with trouble much worse than a bad lie. John Daly, who lied to himself about how serious his alcohol addiction really was, turned back the clock in round 1, all the way back to the 1991 PGA, the tournament that made him a star on the tour. Round 1 today at Winged Foot. Here is Daly on 17 after he birdied 16. Short birdie putt. He's 3 under par. Daly has dropped some weight. He's been working out. He's down to 195 pounds. That's 5 pounds off his weight when he won the 91 PGA. On 18, he sticks it. Birdied the last 3 holes to finish at 4 under as the leader. Tied the course record, in fact. What about the young guns? Justin Leonard has the touch on 9 to go 1 under par. Tiger Woods. That's a tough shot right there on 12. Gets the ball out, but his problems would continue on the back 9. Ernie Els with the approach on 16.
183 yards.
And feeding off
Watch the roll here.
There.
What a break.
As if drawn back by a magnet towards the flag, he'd birdie 16 and would go to +1. And this ball is being drawn in. An invisible force pulling it toward the cup. All 3 major winners walking up that final fairway together on 18. Tiger putting for par. Finished the day at an even par 70. What about Phil Mickelson, the lefty, on 16? A lot of people think this will be his tournament. Oh, goodness. Rolls it in the cup. Mickelson with the birdie, finished at 1 under. Olin Brown on 16. Pitching from the bunker. Going. Gone. Brown to 3 under. Tom Byram having a rough time on 17.
Well controlled.
But look at the shot making in round 1. Byram goes to 1 under.
Birdie, he's at -2.
This was earlier.
Shigeki Murayama. Shige's got the break read perfectly. He goes to 3 under par. Moving up the leaderboard, Davis Love III for Eagle on the par 5 5th hole. Slides it in the side door to take a share of the lead at 4 under. What about the Shark? His 3rd shot on 5.
Probably the worst shot I've ever seen Greg Norman hit in a major championship.
Well, that's saying something if you're talking about the worst shot Greg Norman's ever hit in a major. Went about 80 feet. Norman on 10 teeing off. And this is much more Shark-like. To within a few feet of the hole. What about his partner, Tom Lehman, on 11? His approach shot is right at the pin. Within a foot. And Lehman in at 3 under par. As we take a look, there are still some players on the course, but John Daly, last seen at a major when he walked off the course during the 2nd round of the U.S. Open, has the lead after round 1 of the PGA at 4 under par 66. Allenby just a shot back. He's out on the course. Tom Kite done for the day, as is Lehman, Azinger, and Leonard, as you've got that cluster at 2 under par. We keep moving down the leaderboard. There is a whole bunch of guys at 2 under. That's got to be, let's see, quick math, there's got to be at least 10 guys that are 2 under par at this point. But Norman and Love are obviously still out on the course, and there are others out there as well. Tiger Woods, as we showed you in the highlights, is at even par 70. Let's hear from some of those who've concluded their round today.
I didn't play stupid. I just stuck to my game plan and hit a lot of fairways, and and it was just a good, solid round of golf for me.
Today was a round that, 70 was, theoretically, is a good number, but in my case, the way I hit the ball today, the way I putted, is probably the highest score I could have shot.
Anytime playing in a major championship, there's pressure. And I think having won the British maybe took a little pressure off of me right now. So, it's just looking forward to the day and playing the golf course.
Daly's 1991 victory at the PGA Championship put him on the map. He's been all over that map since then. He missed the cut in this event the past 3 years. His average finish since winning 6 years ago was 67th place. Was the limousine driver whose car crash left members of the Detroit Red Wings in comas under the influence of marijuana at the time of that accident. The remains of a marijuana cigarette were found near the seat of the driver, Richard Gnida. Traces of marijuana were found in his system after that, but DNA testing indicates the saliva found on that cigarette did not match Gnida. Experts are reviewing the results to see if Gnida can be charged with a felony, that is driving while under the use of narcotics. Red Wings defenseman Vladimir Konstantinov and the team masseur Sergei Natsakhanov are still hospitalized, but they've been upgraded now, listed in fair condition. Bob?
If you're a watcher of this network, you're undoubtedly familiar with the shoe company spots that suggest you relocate to a certain Scandinavian country if you don't like baseball. In our cover story, do they know about the show in Oslo?
I think it's a dumb commercial because since we have baseball in Norway, and it's not, if you're bored about baseball, move to Norway, well, you can watch baseball here too.
And you can tonight in Baltimore. Randy Johnson going for his 17th, but the Orioles, the one team that can dare say unit schmunit. And the Eagles have picked a playoff-tested quarterback to lead them at 97. Of course, that could cover either of the contenders. Ray Rhodes casts the only vote. Straight ahead.
1-800-COLLECT presents Max Jerome, Private Eye.
Bummer, I'm out of change.
Hey, Surfer Dude, just dial 1-800-COLLECT. It's easy and it saves up to 44%.
Cool.
1-800-COLLECT is the easy way to save up to 44%.
Did you hear it?
The Event Horizon is a haunted ship in space and the scariest movie you will ever see.
God help us.
Event Horizon, rated R. Starts Friday, August 15th everywhere.
Your 2 o'clock is here.
Mannequins. This guy better have mannequins. Last thing we need are more hangers.
Only Nextel digital cellular phones have direct connect.
Guys, a little problem. I need mannequins.
Gotcha.
Mannequins.
Mannequins.
A two-way radio feature that lets you instantly talk to any or all of your coworkers with a push of a button.
Mannequins.
Get smart. Get Nextel, the national all-digital wireless network.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Paramount Pictures' Event Horizon. Starts Friday, August 15th at theaters everywhere, rated R. And by Nextel, the all-digital national wireless network. Get smart. Get Nextel. Call 1-800-NEXTEL-9.
It is that time of the year. Baseball Dion is getting ready to become football Dion. He'll be talking Dion tomorrow with Chris Myers. He's a Red, he's a Starhead, he's up close at 6 Eastern on ESPN tomorrow. Emerson once wrote, "As a man thinketh, so is he. As a man chooseth. Easy for me to say, so is he." No one ever accused Eagles coach Ray Rhodes of letting anyone do his thinking or his picking. So when it came down to which quarterback he'd start the season with, 95 playoff QB Rodney Peter, 96 playoff QB Ty Detmer, Rhodes had one last meal and picked Detmer.
One of the things I looked at everything that was involved as far as all the work we've put in, the things we've done. And like I said, it's from a play standpoint. It's not that, it's no big difference about the play standpoint because both guys have been effective in doing what we had to do. And it was just my gut feeling I wanted to go with Ty.
Detmer may have gotten the job as much for what he doesn't do as for what he does. Detmer a little bit more careful with the ball, +2 in touchdown to interception ratio, while Pete is -16, third worst among active quarterbacks. Larry?
Hoop news, the Phoenix Suns love the sniper part of Rex Chapman's game. The Mad Bomber can shoot and hit from anywhere, but he won't be shooting anything for a while. Chapman underwent surgery on his right wrist today, broke it in a pickup game a couple of weeks ago. Chapman, who averaged about 14 points per game last season for the Suns, will be in a cast for the next 3 weeks. He should be fine, though, for training camp come October. When SportsCenter continues, Mark McGwire starting to show the stroke that the Cards were looking for all along. We'll show it to you in Night Lights. And don't believe those commercials. They really do love baseball in Norway. We went there to find out.
Reedman World Auto Center brings you the Reedman Experience.
The experience you get when you buy a new car or truck at Reedman World Auto Center. An exciting, enjoyable way to buy a new car. An incredible choice of vehicles at Reedman's 150-acre car and truck center. And Reedman's unparalleled customer service. Why have over 1 million customers made Reedman their dealer of choice? See for yourself at Reedman World Auto Center in Langhorne, Pennsylvania.
Reedman, it's an experience you won't soon forget.
This big orange vehicle is the QVC Local, the world's first complete TV studio on wheels. It's rolling all over this great country of ours in search of the best locally made products from each of the 50 states. And so far, we found some tasty steaks in Missouri, and a rockin' chair in Georgia, and some nifty wings in Wisconsin. Come see what you're missing. Check out the quest for America's best, QVC's 50 and 50 tour, each week on QVC. It's your chance to see the country and buy some of it too.
Everything. He was renting an apartment, and he was always a big Pistol Pete fan, you know.
Look at you. You look like a floozy. You know that? What do you think this is sexy?
I used to use lines like, hey, come here often. Now I speak from the heart with a beautiful crossover dribble.
Do you know what it's like to have to tell people, my brother's a groupie? I always counted on him getting a good corporate job and hiring me. I'm screwed.
New York, Utah, Tuesday at 7:30 on ESPN.
Jeffrey Hammond, hot shot, diving stop by Brito. Got it. Oh, Tilson. Brito just took away extra bases from Jeffrey Hammond.
2-1, 1 out. Little nubber. Caminiti has but one play, and oh, what a play it was! Ken Caminiti is good for one SportsCenter highlight a night.
Ralph said it will only allow 3 more home runs to Mark McGwire because the 4th one ties Ralph.
Well, that could be one of them. Way back in left field. A moonshot. Upper deck job from McGwire. Oh. Deep to left by McGwire. Down the line. If it's fair, it's gone. And this game is tied up.
Otis Nixon. As he pops it up, foul ball. That'll be chased by both Piazza and Carroll. And Piazza, what a grab by Piazza.
Checking games in progress at this hour. The Reds lead the Padres 2-1. They're in the bottom of the 6th. This was Gabe White against Andy Ashby, the pitching matchup. Tony Gwynn had been out for the last 3 games because of kidney stones. He's back in the lineup, and he's 2 for 3. His average up to .385 as we speak for the Padres. How about the Expos and the Dodgers as the Dodgers try to stay within 1.5 of the Giants in the West? Bottom of the 1st, Otis Nixon at bat. Oh, nice lunging catch by F.P. Santangelo in the 2nd. David Segui against Ishmael Valdez. Deep to center field. And this is why they got Otis Nixon. The Dodgers bring him in, and he robs Segui of a homer. So there's no score. And Pedro Martinez going for his 4th straight complete game victory, strikes out Zeal, and then Greg Gagne. And Ishmael Valdez knows that resistance is futile. Martinez struck out 12, and still no score in the 3rd. Mike Piazza sends it high and deep, and aloha means goodbye. 26th of the year for Piazza. 1-0 Dodgers. Still 1-0. Segui, another drive to center field, but there is that man Nixon again. He robs him of another home run. Otis Nixon, just acquired on Tuesday, immediately paying dividends, and the pitching matchup in this game was supreme as Ishmael Valdez goes 8 1/3 innings, does not allow a run, gives up only 4 hits, strikes out 5. He outduels Pedro Martinez, and the Dodgers stay within a game and a half of the Giants in the West, 1-0, the final.
But forget these pennant races, forget radical realignment. The real critical question in baseball, Steve Levy, you've got it. It's the hot stove debate.
That's
before
right.
hot stove season.
And it's not even about the DH either. You know, if you're watching this show on this network, then chances are you've seen Nike's new advertising campaign, the one in which a negative attribute of Major League Baseball is brought up, such as the games are too long, expansion is bad, and too many teams have pinstripes in their uniforms. Then a swoosh endorsing superstar player aided by highlights disputes that so-called problem, followed by the tagline, "If you don't like baseball, move to Norway." Clever stuff. Only problem, Nike probably should have used Iceland instead. As we find out in tonight's cover story, Norway has baseball. 2 divisions, 15 teams, and 1,250 players.
My name is Nicky Shea. I'm the president of the Norwegian Softball and Baseball Federation, and in today's game in the Premier Division of Baseball in Norway between my team, Kristiania Slåballklubb, and our competitive team, Oslo Balkan. So there's 3 guys out there playing outfield. You got the left fielder, center fielder, and the right fielder, and you know, they have been digging quite a lot, so you have to watch out if you're playing outfield in Norway. We don't have a home run fence because of a big soccer tournament a couple of weeks ago. They tore down our outfield fence, so you have to watch out. This is a really good team. This is probably one of the 2 or 3 best in Norway, and believe it or not, but they have a couple of Americans on the team. They have Byron, and they have a coach from San Francisco over there, Mr. Scully. Good evening, Mr. Scully. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good.
What do you think about the game tonight?
Beautiful day for baseball in Norway.
Yeah.
As you well know,
yeah.
Baseball is played in Norway.
Yeah.
Get it down! All right! Somebody talk to him!
It's the players. You know, the players are they're fat and unathletic.
Hey, compared to me, who doesn't look fat and unathletic?
I think it's a dumb commercial because since we have baseball in Norway, and it's not, if you're bored about baseball, move to Norway. Well, you can watch baseball here too.
You want to play baseball? Go to Norway.
As far as we can tell, only 3 big leaguers have hailed from Norway, Iowa that is. Mike Boddicker, 18 games over in his career for the Orioles and Red Sox. Bruce Kim went big fly once in his 186 games for the White Sox and Tigers. And Hal Trosky got it done for both the White Sox and Indians, career batting average of .302. In 1936, he led the majors with 162 runs batted in. Now a most disturbing story out of Arizona. Maricopa County Supervisor Mary Rose Wilcox has been hospitalized and is in fair condition with a bullet wound to her pelvis. Wilcox was shot by a man who said he did it because back in 1994, she supported a sales tax to help pay for the Arizona Diamondbacks ballpark, which is now being built in downtown Phoenix. The shooting took place yesterday just outside an auditorium following a public meeting by a 5-member governing board. The suspect will be charged with attempted murder. In a prepared yet disjointed statement, he said he shot her to try and, among other things, put a stop to the political dictatorship of Diamondbacks owner Jerry Colangelo. Still to come here on SportsCenter. Good team matchup tonight, M's and O's. But is it a bad individual matchup for Baltimore? Randy Johnson is pitching. We'll put it in focus, and we won't stop there. We're back to check out the backfield of the Carolina Panthers before you can say Biaka Batuka.
Cover Story is brought to you by Dockers Khakis. Hey, nice pants.
nice pants.
Dockers, khakis.
Who am I? I am an emissary from the Rocky Mountains. I am an ambassador of beer to the nation of Thirstyland. I am a messenger representing cold beer refreshment for sections 220 through 229, equipped with a full tray of frost-brewed Coors Light. I am the only man here who can fully satisfy your needs. I am the beer man. But enough about me, let's talk about you.
Dear Dave, we were coming home from the track the other day and saw Wendy's Smoky Bacon Cheeseburger was back, so I bought a bunch of them for the boys. Man, was it delicious. 3 strips of hickory smoked bacon, smoked cheddar, savory sauce, and sauteed onions. And they made them fresh when I ordered them, so they were hot and juicy. Stop by sometime and I'll show you the new car. Your buddy, Dale Jarrett.
Dear Dale, that'd be great. I'd love to take it for a spin.
He's kidding, right?
Come into Wendy's and try our Smoky Bacon Cheeseburger today.
Many of the men and dogs tuning up for the Open in Indianapolis. Pete Sampras losing the first set to Magnus Larsson and in trouble in the second as Larsson beats Sampras with a forehand. Pete looking a little tired, a little frustrated too. Sampras would rally serving in the far court. Larsson again rushing the net. Sampras answers, but watch the return by Larsson. Sampras still wins the point and wins the second set 6-4. Third set, Sampras forehand, hits the tape and bounces over the net. Little break for Pete. You haven't won it yet, Pete. Sampras' luck runs out after that. Third set tiebreaker, Larsson up 6-5, serving near court. The baseline rally. Sampras' return hits the net. Magnus Larsson wins the third set tiebreaker 7-5 and the match. He had 18 aces in snapping Sampras' 13-match winning streak. Of Pete's 8 losses this year, 2 have come to Larsson, who also beat him on the clay in Monte Carlo. Andre Agassi taking on third seed Alex Correia tonight for a trip to the quarterfinals. Coverage of the RCA Championships continues tomorrow at 3 Eastern right here on ESPN.
More men's action going on in New Haven, Connecticut at the Pilot Pen, and the top seed Yevgeny Kafelnikov, a winner in straight sets 6-2, 6-3. Sergei Bruguera also victorious, although he needed a tiebreak in the second set. Because of the rain out yesterday, some guys had to play twice today. Among those playing twice, Greg Gruzetsky, who won his second-round match and defeated Albert Costa in the third round, and Andrei Medvedev is currently on the court as we speak. Pilot Pen coverage continues tonight at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN2 and tomorrow at 3 Eastern here on ESPN. When SportsCenter continues, the Daily News is big news in New York as John Daly once again has everybody talking. And in Jacksonville, they're breathing a sigh of relief. Mark Brunell will be able to play this season, but not for a while.
Excuse me, miss. Does that camera of yours give you easy drop-in loading like this? No way. Then can it give you 3 different picture options for better pictures more often? Oh, too bad. How about an index print so it's easy to order reprints? Nah, didn't think so. Maybe what you need isn't just another camera. What you need is an advanced photo system like Kodak Advantix. It's a special kind of film. It's a different kind of camera. It's a better way to take pictures further.
Life is feeling someone pushing from behind and realizing it's you.
President of the United States.
Rolling Stone magazine raves Air Force One is breathtaking, gripping, nail-biting edge-of-your-seat entertainment. And Joel Siegel of Good Morning America says this is the one you've been waiting for. Harrison Ford, Air Force One, rated R, now playing.
I am the cable boy. I'm in charge. In charge of the coach.
Third down and 10.
Not Cooper. Feisty. Sassy. A little tough on the equipment. Must have a backup headset fully operational. Terry Bowden. Just keep the cable out of his way. You develop a special bond with the coach. I'm the lifeline between the sidelines and the booth. Without me, the coach could trip. He could die. Get it right, people.
College football on ESPN2.
The Chicago Blackhawks have gotten quite a bit younger this offseason. First Denny Savard, now Steve Smith. Smith will announce his retirement tomorrow. While with the Oilers, he made that one bad play but he made a lot of good ones on the way to winning 3 Stanley Cups in his 13 NHL seasons. Well, Rick Hendrick, owner of the most successful multi-car team in stock car racing, today pleaded guilty to mail fraud. The charge, which is one of 15 against him, involved a conspiracy that, according to the indictments, include paying bribes in an effort to build up his Honda car dealership empire. Hendrick's attorneys argued that they were gifts, not bribes. Sentencing will take place in the next 30 to 60 days.
This morning, Rick Hendrick pled guilty in United States District Court to count 2 of the bill of indictment, which charges mail fraud, and which incorporates the grand jury's allegations regarding Hendrick's knowing participation in a conspiracy to commit fraud, launder money, and pay bribes to corrupt executives and employees of American Honda. Because of the defendant's medical condition of chronic myelogenous leukemia, the parties agreed that, to the extent that any active sentence of confinement is imposed upon the defendant, it will be served by way of home detention.
The government is recommending a sentence of 10 to 16 months and a $250,000 fine. In a statement, Hendrick said he now intends to focus his energy on his battle with leukemia, which he intends to win. The 48-year-old, who has Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte, and Ricky Craven as employees, still faces at least 50 lawsuits from Honda dealers across the country who accuse Hendrick of unfair competition. Bob.
If you are just joining us, welcome into SportsCenter on the 38th birthday of Magic Johnson and the 67th of Earl Weaver. Among today's top stories, one of Weaver's all-time favorites, Eddie Murray, has been released by his hometown team, the Angels, to make room on the roster for another future Hall of Famer, Rickey Henderson. The arthroscopic surgery on Jacksonville quarterback Mark Brunell's right knee indicates no reconstructive surgery will be needed. He could be back after missing just the first 5 regular season games. And Eagles coach Ray Rhodes has picked his starting pitcher for the season opener against the Giants. Rhodes has a gut feeling that Ty Detmer is his man.
Round 1 of the PGA Championship at Winged Foot. John Daly on 17 with a birdie putt to go 3 under par. Daly birdied the final 3 holes to finish 4 under 66. Justin Leonard, the British Open champ, knocks it down on number 9. And what a threesome there, along with Tiger Woods and Ernie Els as they walk up the fairway. What about another young gun, Phil Mickelson on 16 from the rough? This is not rough, it is silky smooth. Mickelson, the bird, finished at 1 under. Davis Love III was up and down. He was on top of the leaderboard for a while, slipped back to 2 under, but with shots like that, has risen again to 4 under par. That was for Eagle on the 5th hole. Tom Lehman on 11. His approach shot, about as good as it gets. Within a foot of the pin, Lehman at 3 under par. As we take a look at the leaderboard at this very second, Daly in the clubhouse early at 4 under 66. Love has just moved into the clubhouse. He's tied for the lead at -4. Robert Allenby still out on the course, has a chance to catch him. He's at 3 under par, and he's got a couple of holes left. And it's Kite, the Zinger, and Justin Leonard at -2. A logjam at -2 with Perry and Stankowski and Shige Murayama. As you see the other notables, Tiger Woods off to the left with Els at even par 70. Jimmy Roberts talked with one of the co-leaders, John Daly.
All right, thanks very much. And on Wednesday, Ernie Els said he figured scoring conditions would be generous enough so that perhaps somebody could shoot as low as 66 or 65. I probably think that he didn't have you in mind, but then again, you might not have had you in mind either. You a little surprised?
I'm very surprised, Jimmy. It was a round of where I made a lot of short putts and made some good birdies. To make 7 birdies on this golf course, I wouldn't think I'd make that many all week.
You have not fared well since you won this championship, and also in the U.S. Opens, you've had kind of a rough ride. How do you explain the way you played on Thursday?
Getting up and playing early in the morning, the greens are perfect. I just, I woke up, I felt pretty good. I hit the ball very solid today. I don't care who you are, you're not going to hit every fairway out here, and for me to only miss 4 of them, it's kind of encouraging. And when I did hit the fairways, I actually had shorter irons into the holes than what I had in the practice rounds. So it's just one of those days that everything just felt good.
A little bit of the action from Thursday afternoon. First, the tee shot on 7. This looked pretty good. This is what, a 7-iron?
On 7, I hit actually a 9-iron, and I just cut it in there. The pin was up front, and most guys are either going to draw it in there or cut it in there. You don't want to put too much spin; it'll roll back down the hill. So Basinger and Twain, I hit really good shots in there. I think I hit it about 5 feet and then made the putt.
And then on the second shot on 18, this is a 9-iron.
I hit 3-wood off the tee on 18 and 9-iron, just cut it in there to about a foot, and
John just
felt good getting off that golf course at 4 under par.
You said something interesting in the press room. You said that alcohol, which is something you've struggled with, and golf are somewhat similar in your mind in that they're both addictions. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, I struggle with this disease day in and day out, and as a golfer, not just being a professional, but anybody who plays, it's a game of struggles. It's a game of ups and downs, and it's a game that my life has been like ever since I was, you know, pretty much born, I guess you could say. And it's one shot at a time, and like I try to live one day at a time. You can't predict. I always try to predict holes that were birdie holes for me in the past, thinking if I can get through these 3 holes, maybe this par 5 I can make birdie and get something back, or maybe get it to under par. But now it's just one hole at a time and one shot at a time, and it pays off, I think, in the long run. It's bound to pay off.
John Daly, his best round this year since the first week of the season, 66, a competitive record here on the West Course at Winged Foot. Jimmy Roberts at the PGA Championship. Now let's head back to the studio.
Thanks, Jimmy. When SportsCenter continues, we come back with Johnson & Johnson. Randy Johnson going for his 17th win tonight against a team that's tormented him. Can the big unit beat the Birds? And what about Anthony Johnson? No relation. He hopes to run wild for Carolina tonight in preseason action.
If you give the world a chance to, it'll swallow you up. Sometimes it's nothing but alone. So you gotta have a plan. You gotta be a Superman. Do some good for the world. Even though sometimes you'll be bad. And that way, you and the world can reach a mutual agreement. You know what I'm saying?
A precinct full of corrupt New York cops has taken over a town across the river.
Freeze, police!
Now, a small-town sheriff and a big-city investigator are teaming up.
Start giving us answers.
To take them on.
Who do you think you are?
Critics say Copland is an instant classic, riveting, a knock-your-socks-off thriller.
You're gonna come at them head-on?
This one you can't miss. Sylvester Stallone, Harvey Keitel, Ray Liotta, and Robert De Niro. Copland. Rated R. Starts tomorrow at theaters everywhere.
So I'm at Taco Bell, and guess who walks through the door? Lady Luck.
Lady Luck, come talk to me, Lady
He'll have a large Pepsi.
Well, you heard the lady.
Play the Taco Bell Ropa Jeep Wrangler game. Order a medium or large drink.
Sweet.
And you could win cash, food, or one of 100 Jeep Wranglers.
Lady Luck, how lucky can you get?
Isn't she something?
Ropa Jeep Wrangler, only at Taco Bell.
Get your frost brewed Coors Light!
So here I come with 192 ounces of golden refreshment.
Coors Light!
My name is called, and I pass along these frost-brewed sips of heaven.
Rocky Mountain Refreshment!
I'm embraced by thousands, but as they sip their liquid joy, I can't help but wonder. Is it me they call out for, or is it the beer? Either way, I feel the love.
Turn around! Get your cold Coors Light here!
Opening round of the Women's British Open in Sunningdale, England. Kari Webb, who burst onto the scene winning this event 2 years ago. She leads after a bogey-free round of 65. Lisa Lott-Neumann, who won the British in '94, and Trish Johnson tied for second, 3 strokes back. NBA News, the Czar lives. Mike Fratello, a.k.a. Czar of the Telestrator in his broadcasting days, was said to be on shaky ground last year in Cleveland. Fans weren't happy, and neither were his Cavs players over his slow-down, low-scoring style of play. But Fratello has just signed a long-term extension, 5 more years, in addition to the one that he had remaining on his contract. Terms were not disclosed. On the court, Howard Eisley, the free agent guard who became a hot property during Utah's playoff run to the finals, spurned offers from at least 2 other teams and re-signed with the Jazz today. Eisley averaged 4.5 points last season, 4th on the team with 2.4 assists. Bob?
Folks in the Carolinas are used to seeing guys run side by side with numbers on their backs, but more the 500-mile, not the 1,000-yard variety. We will clear all that up. And every player has that team that tries him like no other. For the big unit, it's the Big Orange and Blackbirds from Baltimore. Another chance coming up.
I bought it on the spot. It's exactly what I'm looking for.
I'm happy.
There's something going on that's got people talking. It's Ford's factory authorized clearance. Every 97 Ford must be sold to make room for the 98s. So you get low 4.8% financing or $1,500 cash back on Ford Taurus.
I love my new car. I bought a Taurus.
4.8 financing or $1,500 cash back on Taurus. It's the biggest event of the year, and it's happening now at your Tri-State Quality Ford dealer.
I did good.
Disney's Beauty and the Beast, now celebrating its 4th smash year at the Palace Theater, still Broadway's classic musical. Share the imagination, Academy Award-winning music, and theatrical wizardry of this Broadway sensation, a vastly entertaining show for all ages. For tickets, visit the Palace Theater box office, 1564 Broadway at 47th Street, or call Ticketmaster 212-307-4100. Tickets are also available at the Disney Store on 5th Avenue. Enter to win 4 tickets to Disney's Beauty and the Beast, as well as dinner at the ultimate sports-themed restaurant, the official All-Star Cafe. Send entries to the address listed.
1951, the Bristol University School of Football has been an intellectual haven for asking questions and seeking answers. A place which challenges and enlightens young minds in the academic pursuit of football. Led by Dean Berman, the faculty prepares students to meet the challenges of the 21st century and beyond.
Here at Bristol University, we seek veritas, or the truth.
The Bristol University School of Football. To know is to understand.
Hi, you got any of these? Ooh, will this leather case fit my cell phone? It's not from Radio Shack.
Yes, it will.
Perfect. What about a long life battery? A car adapter? A universal remote? Cordless computer mouse? An AC adapter for this? Wow, you got wireless speakers, dual headphones.
Whatever you've got, wherever you got it, Radio Shack's got over 10,000 accessories to help it work better.
Oh, yeah. Got any connectors?
Parts, too.
Great.
Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
In Focus is brought to you by Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Reds, coming off a shutout of the Padres last night, are tied 3-3 in San Diego in the top of the 8th. Joe Oliver with an RBI single. Tony Gwynn an RBI double. He's gone 2 for 3 to raise his average to .385. Greg Vaughn also a 2-run homer for the Padres. The Dodgers and Expos are playing this afternoon. The brothers Martinez both pitching. Sounds like the kind of matchup material we get all excited about around here. Well, while Pedro is in L.A. toiling against the Dodgers, Big Brother is in Lancaster, 60 miles out in the desert, making his 5th rehab start for the Dodgers A-ball team, hoping to rejoin the big club next week. Dodgers doing a little play-in and scoreboard watching. Bottom of the 1st, no score. Otis Nixon at the plate. Chunks one out into left field. A great play there made by F.P. Santangelo. Top of the 2nd, David Segui at the plate facing Ishmael Valdez. Segui, the long drive to deep center field, but Otis, my man, robs him of the home run. Still no score. Bottom of the 2nd. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out. Pedro Martinez gets Todd Zeile looking. Then gets Greg Gagne swinging. And then gets Ishmael Valdez swinging. Martinez 12 strikeouts on the day, still no score. But in the bottom of the 3rd, Mike Piazza facing Martinez. Piazza unloads his 26th of the year. He is 7 for 15 with 3 homers lifetime against Martinez. 1-0 Dodgers. Top of the 4th, same score. Valdez facing Segui again. Otis Nixon is not a crook, but he is a thief. Steals it again from Segui. Valdez 8 1/3 innings. Allows just 4 hits and strikes out 5 as the Dodgers beat the Expos 1-0. The Dodgers then still a game and a half behind the Giants in the NL West.
And what about those Giants? Clinging to that game and a half lead, hosting the Cubs. Sean Estes against Ryan Sandberg. Big breaking ball, swing and a miss. In the 2nd, 2 on for Bill Miller, who gets around. And that ball is gone. Giants up 3-0. In the 4th, Kevin Tapani facing that man Miller. It's Miller time. Sinking liner to left. Oops. Doug Glanville playing it with his face. And Miller slides in at 2nd. The ball caroms off his leg. Now it's a race. And Miller wins it. He's at 3rd. What about Roberto Hernandez? In the 8th, his first major league at bat. Who needs the DH? I can hit. Giants go on to win it 7-3. San Francisco matching their win total from the entire season of '96. That's 68 victories. And Estes went 7 1/3, struck out 10, raising his record to 15-5. Miller 3 for 4 with a 3-run homer. Another matinee, the Angels beat the Brew Crew 5-1. Dennis Springer with a 6-hitter, Todd Green a 3-run homer. Some notes surrounding this game. The Angels released veteran Eddie Murray before the game to make room for Ricky Henderson, and the Brewers have traded a player to be named later to the Diamondbacks for '89 Cy Young Award winner Mark Davis, who hasn't pitched in the bigs since 1994. Randy Johnson will gas up the flamethrower tonight. He's going for his 17th win of the season. That would tie him with Roger Clemens as tops in baseball. Johnson coming off a great performance Friday night against the White Sox. Tonight, the Orioles will try to take their hacks. How do you hit Johnson? Harold Reynolds put the question to a man who knows him best, Seattle catcher Dan Wilson, as we put tonight's matchup in focus.
He's one of the most feared pitchers in baseball. He leads the majors in strikeouts with 243 and is coming off a 19 strikeout performance. The question still remains tonight for the Orioles, how do you stop the big unit?
You know, he's an amazing pitcher. He probably has the best pure stuff of any pitcher who's ever played baseball. So when you're facing him, you know that you have to do everything perfect or you have no chance.
Well, he's by far, if not the best, one of the best in the game. And hopefully he threw all the strikeouts last game and he's a little bit tired out or whatever today, but you know, hopefully we can get some guys on base and score some runs off of him early, and I think if we can do that, it'll help our team out a lot.
My approach is not going to be any different than I've approached before any other pitcher. He's human, you know, he's got to throw the ball over the plate, and I just got to get a pitch to hit, and then that's my plan.
The Orioles have had success in the past versus Johnson. He's 0-1 this season with a 7.36 ERA. Lifetime against the O's, he is 3-6.
Randy is a fierce competitor, and he wants to go out tonight with a little extra drive and get that W tonight and show these guys that, you know, you don't beat the unit more than once.
Anytime you're facing one of the best in the game, you come to the ballpark and you got a little bit more preparation. You know, you build yourself up a little bit more when you're facing a guy like that.
Tonight's matchup, the first place Orioles taking on Randy Johnson, the premier pitcher in baseball. Should be an exciting matchup. Harold Reynolds reporting from Baltimore, ESPN.
Thanks, Harold. The Orioles, one of the few teams that have figured out the big unit. He's 3-6 lifetime against the Birds, an ERA of 4.85, and walks have been a problem. Against everybody else, he mows them down. His record 114-57 with an ERA a run and a half lower. Steve?
Back to football, and as we told you earlier, the Jaguars were looking just a bit sleeker today than they were yesterday. That's because starting quarterback Mark Brunell, instead of possibly being lost for the entire season, will likely be only 6 weeks. No tear in the ACL of his right knee was found. And thanks to a well-timed bye week, he figures to miss just 5 or 6 games. So how is Jacksonville dealing? We dial up Chris Mortensen.
When Jacksonville coach Tom Coughlin's telephone rang Thursday, he knew it was about Mark Brunell's knee, and with it, the team's Super Bowl aspirations. Only despite the good face he had put on during the week, he really did not expect the good news he received at this moment.
When the phone rang and I heard that, I hadn't allowed myself to even dwell on that, and I allowed myself to, you know, to have a moment of exhilaration, thinking that, wow, you know, we're not going to lose Mark for the whole season.
Mark is very interested in medical affairs, so he was actually watching the surgery with us, and I think his spirits were good. He enjoyed the procedure as much as you can enjoy a surgical procedure because he was interested in it, and he got good news, so his spirits are very good.
While Dr. Lucy's arthroscopic exam did reveal damage, Brunell probably will not undergo further surgery on the knee. Brunell will begin rehabilitation on Friday, and he could be working on the field as soon as 5 weeks. Until Brunell's return, the quarterback job is in the hands of Rob Johnson, a third-year man from Southern Cal, who has thrown just 7 passes in his NFL career. Johnson does not appear overwhelmed by the idea he must be the quarterback for at least 1/3 of the season, and his teammates have rallied around him.
He's a competitor. He has a very, very strong arm, and he's a true NFL quarterback. He's a pocket quarterback.
I hope they give me a little time. You know, it's my first time starting, so I'm sure there's going to be some growing pains, you know. But I understand the pressure that the team's going to be under to win, and from, you know, the media and from our fans. So I expect them to bring someone in.
Actually, the team has put on hold any plans to bring in another quarterback for now. Todd Philcox will fill the role of the backup. Brunell's projected return is for October 12th against the Philadelphia Eagles. Anything earlier than that is beyond realistic expectations. Then again, so was Thursday's news that Mark Brunell's season is not finished after all. With the Jaguars in Jacksonville, I'm Chris Mortensen, ESPN.
There's more from Mort when SportsCenter continues. Also, with their star quarterback hurt, the Carolina Panthers need a strong running game. But who gets the call? We preview the Panthers next.
Like proper diet and exercise, Craftmatic beds help your body feel better for watching TV, reading, sewing, or just putting your feet up and relaxing. You can't beat a Craftmatic adjustable bed. Yet Craftmatic Model 2 beds are inexpensive. Call toll-free to get free information by mail about Craftmatic. Call for this important information now.
Call toll-free 1-800-544-1000.
Hey man, let me get this straight. You mean the Pilot Pen International is on tomorrow at 1, the RCA Championships are on tomorrow at 3, and the Pilot Pen International is also on tomorrow at 11:30 on ESPN 2? Wow, ESPN Summer of Love. Far out, man.
Paul Tracy, the early season leader. Alex Zanardi, a late season rush. Now it gets interesting. The Texaco Haviland 200, Sunday at 3:30 on ESPN.
Let's go back to the situation of Prohibition. Prohibition was an extremely difficult period for the Bush family. That period almost broke the company. Grandfather had a couple of choices. So he went into the yeast business, he went into the soft drink business, he went into...
NFL Training Camp Report is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for a crisp, clean, classic taste.
Chiefs quarterback Elvis Grbac isn't expected to play tonight, strained abdominal muscle. Panthers quarterback Kerry Collins out up to 6 weeks, a broken jaw, the result of that helmet-to-helmet hit from Denver's Bill Romanowski. The result of that, a $20,000 fine for the Broncos linebacker. Now, in tonight's game, Carolina head coach Dom Capers looks to address preseason problems like penalties and turnovers. But as Sterling Sharp explains, not all of his problems are necessarily bad ones.
Right now, I'm the starting running back, so I got to carry the load, I got to carry the ball.
Tim is such a great weapon. You obviously have to have him on the field and carrying the ball, and because of that, I'm not sure that Anthony Johnson fits into too much as far as this style of offense.
Here in the Panther coach's meeting room, head coach Dom Capers has a difficult decision. Who will become his featured running back? Will it be Tumunga Biaka-Batuka, the number 8 pick in the '96 draft, and a young man that's shown loads of promise? Or will it be Anthony Johnson, 1,120 yards in 1996, and proved last year that he could carry the load? Or will it be both? This decision is crucial to see if the Carolina Panthers can go running back to the NFC title game.
During this camp, they've been looking at both of us in the backfield at the same time, and me primarily at fullback. And I'm not sure that's the best combination for the team.
If I got to carry the ball 10 times, and Anthony carry the ball the other 10 times, I mean, it's part of the business. It's part of my job.
We're doing some experimentation with different personnel in the backfield. Everybody will have a little different role, and one of the keys to our success is how well they get themselves ready to go out and handle that role.
This is Biaka-Batuka's first full training camp after holding out last season. He was leading all NFC rookies with 229 yards rushing before his knee injury in the 4th game. That allowed Johnson, a fullback and role player most of his career, to move over to tailback.
He's probably the most unselfish person I've ever met in my entire life.
He's probably the only running back last year in the National Football League that was gaining over 1,100 yards and was on playing special teams.
His success came as a reward for all the work he put in.
It was really a joy to block for him last year because he was vocally so appreciative of what we did. And we got together and bought him a Rolex.
He's a guy that during the week of practice, if you needed somebody to service the defense, he'd jump in and service the defense at times.
Johnson was a free agent this offseason, but while last year's starting fullback Howard Griffith signed with Denver, Johnson chose to stay in Carolina even after being told he would be a backup, a role he has now accepted.
I can for sure go to Anthony and say, Anthony, I didn't understand this play. What's the business scheme? What are they trying to accomplish? And he's going to tell me and not trying to, to play me around.
He's going to realize that he is a great back, and when he does realize that, he's just going to hit the ground running and be tough to stop him.
AJ was one of the biggest reasons why we were so successful last year, and I'm sure we'll get to that point with Tomonga. But right now, AJ has earned a lot of respect around here.
That's the NFL. Now you got to prove yourself. You got to deserve the starting position. But I was kind of handed the starting position when I got back, and I got to prove to the team that I deserve it now.
Here is your backfield breakdown through the first 2 preseason games for the Panthers. Biakabatuka getting the majority of the playing time and the carries, presumably because he's coming back from injury. Tough to tell anything about Johnson based on all of his 2 carries and the 2 yards that went with them. Well, a busy day for Chris Mortensen, who joins us now live. He gave us the good news for Jacksonville earlier, and Mort also broke the story earlier about the 49ers. And I guess, Chris, maybe they're not as good at the cap maneuvering as everyone thinks they are. Did they get caught on the Steve Young contract, and which team was first in line to complain to the NFL?
Well, the New Orleans Saints were the team that filed the formal complaint. Harold Henderson, who's the NFL vice president in charge of management and labor, confirmed that for me. He said that several other clubs and owners and executives also have complained, and so it is being discussed in the league. They believe that this one might be a little bit transparent.
Can you be any more specific? And what exactly are the teams complaining about?
Well, Steve Young signed a new contract. He had 2 years left on his former contract at $4.5 million per year. He took a straight pay cut to $3 million with no assurances of a signing bonus or a guarantee. Yet his salary inflates to $10 million next year. What they're trying to say is that there's an oral agreement to restructure that contract next year. The smoking gun being Lee Steinberg, his agent's comments at the press conference, in which Lee said he had 100% assurance that, in fact, Steve Young would make that $10 million in some form. You're not allowed any oral agreements on the side.
Mort, what's the other side? What, if anything, are the 49ers saying in response to these accusations?
Well, I spoke with both Carmen Policy, the 49ers team president, and Lee Steinberg today. And Carmen says, really, here's the way it comes down. Lee Steinberg's going to make $10 million next year, one way or the other. That they will restructure the contract and probably give him a signing bonus. He says there's no oral agreement to that, but he also noted that they could terminate Steve Young next year, and they have assured Steve that he will not be designated the franchise player. Is there an oral agreement? Lee Steinberg says no, but he wished he had $1 for every oral agreement he had signed with the Saints. Lee seemed a little bit defensive, thinks that the teams are crying too much over something that is not that big of a deal. Others feel differently.
Chris, thank you. We'll see how this one shakes out. Mort reports throughout the NFL tonight, which is just about 3 minutes away. And then right after that, we've got NFL preseason football for you. Eric Davis and the Panthers hook up with the Chiefs in a meeting of 0-2 clubs.
President of the United States. Rolling Stone magazine raves Air Force One is breathtaking, gripping, nail-biting edge-of-your-seat entertainment. And Joel Siegel of Good Morning America says this is the one you've been waiting for. Harrison Ford, Air Force One, rated R, now playing.
First, it won a U.S. patent. Then the incredible Splitfire swiftly ignited the passions of drivers around the world. Now you can get guaranteed Splitfire performance for just $3.99. Hurry, it's the biggest savings ever.
Summer is a great time for McDonald's Chicken McNuggets. You'll see them everywhere, at the beach, on a picnic, at a party. Get them in groups of 6 for 99 cents. 9 for $1.59. Or 20 for $2.99. So hurry on down and get in on this summertime McNugget deal. Only at my McDonald's.
The College Game Day crew solemnly prepares for another Thursday night kickoff.
Back to you, Chris. Back to you, Chris.
They put on their game face, inspect the equipment, and check every last detail.
Do you use mineral or tap?
Tap.
Their mission, to give sports fans a primetime alternative to sitcoms and messy hospital dramas.
SportsCenter is brought to you by the owners, managers, and crew who proudly call the McDonald's in your neighborhood My McDonald's.
An update on a story we told you about last night. 3 San Diego State football players, Tyrone Evans, Lonnie Mitchell, and Azahir Hakeem, will not be charged with rape. This from the district attorney looking into that incident that allegedly occurred back in March. The players will be released from custody. Their bail has been exonerated. Bob?
Again, our top stories, Jaguars quarterback Mark Brunell may miss only 5 games of the regular season after successful arthroscopic surgery today. Future Hall of Famer Eddie Murray has been released by the Angels to make room for Rickey Henderson. The 41-year-old Murray is now contemplating his baseball future. And John Daly and Davis Love III lead the PGA Championship at Winged Foot. First round 66's round 1 is wrapping up.
And they're getting ready for the Orioles-Mariners game at Camden Yards, but the lights in right field are apparently not ready, having a problem. We're told it's a city problem. The game may not get in if they can't get it fixed. Larry Beil, Bob Stevens, so long.